And, excuse me, we are live for another Saturday morning stand-up. KGM Jam and Gathering the Magic in the house. Good morning. That moon racing game looks like it's going to be, what? So, yeah, that really surprised me. Hey, Ike, good evening to you. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you happen to be in this fine world. Hope everyone is doing well as can be expected, and starting off the year well. Paul Taylor's in the house. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, KGM, that totally surprised me. I was doing a video yesterday. I was preparing for a video after work. I usually do these things after I get off work, right? And I saw this ping in Discord, and it was Aggie. And I'm like, wow, I haven't heard anything from him. I've been looking for some kind of news or information about what's going on his side of the house. So that was really interesting. And I did filter a little bit through the Discord, but I don't have any further details on that game. It might be interesting, who knows, but it's worth covering, and I'm glad that he's up to something and he's got something going on. So John is in the house. I need to get more GLX for the airdrop. We got a little bit of FOMO going on. Yeah, it should be interesting. Whenever more information comes out, I need to filter, like I was saying, I need to filter back through the Discord conversation. Frankly, I only joined their Discord, the GLS Discord, yesterday after I saw that news pop up he posted it on Twitter, on X. But how long are we going to go until we just start calling it X? I don't know. Either way, looks interesting. I do like racing games. I hope I just kind of looked at chat in Discord over there on their channel right before we went live, and it looks like everybody was talking about how GLX has doubled. Yeah, I mean, think about it. Up to this point, we've been like, well, what's the use case, right? We've just been, well, as far as me, I've just been like rolling it over and just restaking it and everything. I'm sure some people have been pulling it out and using it for other things, but I've just been rolling it over. Currently, I'm just checking right now. Let's see here. Haven't claimed my GLGT in a while. But I'm about 2,900, a little bit over 2,900 GLX staked. And I haven't pulled it out or anything. I've just been basically rolling it back over through the whole time. So let's see. John says, Aggie said the first airdrop for Arcade Colony is going to be for GLX. Then the second phase will include SPS. Interesting. Yeah, I'm really interested in seeing what the details for that will be, as well as seeing what the details for the new card game will be. You know, I'm happy for the new card game, but I'm overall looking at the platform, right? Okay, so if a lot of you are not familiar with these different there's several different types of service. There's acronyms that end with AAS, as a service. So one of them is platform as a service. And this company invented and went through the whole procedure of creating a platform to offer Splinterlands on, and now a couple other games, right? And they developed this out all basically from scratch, which represents a pretty huge investment, right? So I'm pretty psyched about them being able to, on this side of the house, on Aggie's side of the house now, be able to use that and market that to other companies. Am I psyched about the new racing game? Sure, I'll take a look at it. I don't know how psyched I'm going to be once I see the details, but we'll see. But I'm psyched as far as them taking that and offering that, and the future of us seeing other companies come in on this same platform and be able to use it and offer a multitude of different other games, you know. So, yeah, that's my feelings on that. Well, GLX and GLS USD, I think he said, yeah. Vilson's in the house. Thanks for dropping by. To start off, we've been talking a little bit about the news from Aggie that just dropped. And like I said, I was making a video yesterday, and I had to basically stop everything I was doing and do a video on that because I wanted to get the news out. Gathering says, working on some battles and picking up another card or two for my $10 account. Yeah, that's been interesting following that account. I do like it that that you've kept up doing those videos, and it's represented a pretty strong informational point for people coming into the game and thinking, wow, I just need to plunk down hundreds and hundreds of dollars, which if you want to level up into silver and gold is a logical statement, but it's not impossible to play along for a few bucks a week, so Gathering the Magic says GLX is a perfect example to not give up on a token, just accumulate, stake, and be patient. Yeah, I was just frankly waiting to see what he was going to do. I didn't think that they were going to drop that side of the house. I know that these things take rather large projects, right? And you can see that it's been a few months since the big changeover, since we've heard from Aggie, and I've been wondering. And frankly, these kind of things can affect people in many different ways. And I was hoping that whatever happened behind the scenes didn't fracture the relationship so bad that he went off and did something crazy or something like that, But I am glad to see that he's got something going, and with this new project, that could tell us what he's been doing over the last few months, right? Because a whole new game, to a comment one of my other subscribers had on the video is like, maybe this is just a remanufactured game from the past. We need something new, something fresh, something interesting. My take, and the reason why I do coverage on a multitude of different games, is I'm always looking for that new game that offers something different, something that takes the next step forward, right? You and I both know. I would say that most of us have been gamers for quite a while. Check out the gray beard. I've been a gamer since the term gamer started, right? And in fact, I was a gamer back when gamers were frowned upon, right? But there are certain points in time, and I'm talking Web 2 and just standard computer games, when we take a step forward that is much different than what has been done in the past. And Splinterlands was one of those things. Splinterlands as a whole is doing something that nobody's ever done. However, we have a multitude of other games on their coattails on various blockchains that are kind of doing the same, trying to do the same type of thing, right? But I'm looking for that next step forward in, not just technology, but something interesting in the game. And you and I both know that some games, they just grab you. They've got that, what they call X factor. They just grab you. You don't know why, but all of a sudden you're playing a game and it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you look up and you're like, damn, I have to go to work in the morning, right? I'm always looking for that. Have I found it over the years? A few times, but not that often. Now we're in the Web3 space. I'm still looking for that, and that's why I'm spread out. I'm playing a lot of different games now, and I'm trying to look for that next game that not necessarily. I mean, yeah, I'm looking to make a little bit of a profit, but I'm looking for that Web3 game that pulls me in so much that I'm up at 2 o'clock in the morning playing it, and I can't remember where the time went. That's what I'm looking for. Off on a tangent, one of my standard tangents. Welcome to Saturday. Okay, let's catch up with chat. Did you get a battle wagon? Asks Alex B. Yes, I did. I only got one. And I did what I said I was going to do. I only bought one summoner this time due to price of summoners, but my plan is to go ahead and accumulate enough summoners to fill up my one battle wagon at level 6, which is where I'm playing in gold, which is another big topic of the week, right? The revamping of the league structure and overall the leaderboard and such. But yes, I do have a battle wagon. It's a very small battle wagon at this point, because as we know, the card prices are at a premium right now. And I've been covering a lot of other games. I didn't necessarily myself, see the value in pumping, several $100s, if not over $1,000 into a battle wagon just to get one BCX guaranteed of a card. Yeah, the new airdrop card looks great, right? It looks like it's going to be something we all want to have. But do I want to go ahead and stake over $1,000 in a battle wagon just to get one BCX? Not so much. It's something I'm going to be working on. So my plan is to just pick up summoners as I can at proper level for my account, which is a good, nice little chunk each, right? Whenever I go to buy one at level 6, or if it's a common level 8 for gold, that represents about $50 or so. And interestingly enough, on a point on that, the rares are cheaper than the dual splinter commons for the most part, in most situations, at least on the lower end. So that's going to be my take on battle wagons. Once I get one battle wagon full, then I'll look at doing another one. So that's my take on it. Wibbles in the house. We missed FOMO Aggie. Glad he's back. Yeah, I completely agree. I'm glad that he's up to something productive, and it looks like he's got something interesting going. Who knows? The racing game might be really fun. I wish it was like regular cars instead of carts or whatever, but I don't have any information. It may be extremely cool. I'll have to take a look at it when more information comes out. I believe he said there's going to be a live stream relatively soon. I will have to dig more into the details. If I get more details later on, I'll do a short snippet news flash type video. When I do those short videos, I feel like a newscaster. This just in. Aggie's alive. Aggie's doing something, So Filson says, in my opinion, Aggie would never fade Splinterlands players. Yeah, well, I wasn't talking about that. I'm talking about how a major impact in your life can affect people in very serious ways. I don't know the man. I just know him from listening to him talk on town halls and such. But I have personally experienced friends that ended their life or made extreme choices in their life due to extreme changes happening, bad things happening, and I'm just glad to see that nothing, bad in that mode happened. So anyway, that's a tangent. If this game is anything like Mario or Crash games, it's going to be awesome. Well, I hope that there's action to it. Okay. I hope that there's actual racing and not just a card game version of it. Do I like card games? Yeah. Do I think it might be relatively interesting? Maybe. But I'm more into a physical race game, Like I said in my video from yesterday, I love, one of my favorite games of all time is Forza. I don't own an Xbox, but I own a copy of all the Forzas on my PC, and I play them on my PC through Microsoft Gaming. So this should be interesting. John says Dragon Age Origins was the last game I thought was really good. I liked that game as well. I like the top-down isometric RPGs, kind of like that. Big fan of that. You know what I do is, though, I have a habit of not finishing them. I'll get half, 3/4 of the way through and then drop it. I'm bad like that. But Ike says, waiting on the next big game might be around the corner. Aggie's new platform is to onboard games to Web3, so who knows? Yeah, I think we were talking about that before you dropped on. I think I've said this a number of times, but I've studied this for what I do for a living and everything. And these as a service, especially a platform, I think that, and I'm just going to restate this again. I think, although I love Splinterlands as a game, I think the platform as a service part of their business represents such a huge upside that it probably is has a bigger upside than Splinterlands. I know somebody's going to crucify me in the comments. I'm not against Splinterlands. I love playing it. I've got thousands of dollars invested in it. But I think that the as a service, the platform as a service represents, I forgot to mute my phone. And my brother always pings me while I'm on my live stream for some reason. We're doing a battle in Clash of Clans currently. But I think the platform as a service represents a huge upside to the company. And however they've got that divided, money-wise and everything, could benefit Splinterlands. Who knows? I have no details on that. But I'm psyched about him having something going on that side and getting the word out there. And also, I'm not a developer, but if I was a developer, this would represent something that would be a bonus to me, because if I was looking, basically, if you don't have to build out the platform for your game, that's, half the job right there. So you could use the service, get your game online in half the time, right? So if you were developing it, pretty psyched. Yeah, do you have to pay a fee? Yeah, we have to pay a fee for everything, right? But it's pretty cool to have that available. Gathering says, just like GLX, don't sleep on Forge. Game continues to develop and grow. I've been slowly building up my heroes. Building an account, buying crates is so cheap now, 24 cents a pack or so. That's interesting. Do I still play it? Yes. Am I really deep into it? No. I do play 2 accounts on a daily basis. I do believe that, I've seen a huge shift once in a while in the game. I see a huge shift as far as the amount of players and the amount of games. And something happened a couple weeks ago to where I don't know what happened, whether they went through and got rid of a lot of I don't know what he did. He did a QA pass through or something or other, and maybe got rid of some people were doing stuff they shouldn't be doing, because I've been placing higher lately in the last few weeks than I had prior to that. So yeah, I agree with you. It's a great game. They've been doing a lot of advancements lately. In fact, I would hazard to guess there's a few other games that are kind of copying off them. Don't shoot me. And I know somebody might light a fire in the comments, but I think that maybe copying is the sincerest form of flattery, maybe, but they all seem to have their slightly different takes on it. So expect big things from Aggie this year. Yeah, I would hazard a guess, if I were doing it and I had these big projects in motion, obviously I would wait until there was a lot of things in concrete and I had a lot of things to go ahead and put out there before I even said anything about it, right? So I feel maybe that, he did say he's having a live stream about this new game relatively soon. I didn't get the date. Maybe it's within this next week. So we'll have more information on that, and possibly we'll be able to see a live stream of it and see the game in action. So that's a plus. I'm guessing that he waited until he had a lot of things set in stone. And as far as the airdrop and all of their information on that, obviously they would have to do a lot of work and go through the math and look at it from every different angle before they were going to ever put any information out on that, because that's the FOMO engine, right? He wants to get that. One thing he's great at is getting that FOMO going, right? But I mean, it's his job, right? You're trying to sell something, and that's your job, right? So if you ever get that take off my videos that I'm against Splinterlands making money, I'm not. And in his case, on the other side, Invenium, but I'm not against it. I can see it from both aspects. I just take a view of one side of it is it's his job to make money for his company, right? I'm perfectly fine with that. But on my side, I'm trying to get the most out of the money I've spent in his company, right? So two different aspects. John says, I play a Warhammer game online where you earn cards during play. It would be great to see some of the old Warhammer games or other games be able to be adapted to Arcade Colony. It would make AC. Arcade Colony. Yeah, I mean, the doors are open. I mean, they would probably love to have some kind of big IP come in, or a company that has a big IP to use, like Warhammer or something like that, and make a game on their platform. That would be huge. Do I think that a big company or a company that has a big IP would come in and use as a platform as a service? I don't know. I'm thinking that a bigger company with a bunch of money behind them would build out their own platform. But it's a platform that is already up and running and for years, and it's showing what it can do. So that might be a plus as well. So I like Warhammer too. I haven't got into Warhammer lately, but I have liked some of their games in the past. My financial journey's in the house. Thanks for dropping by. Aggie is too much FOMO for me. We don't hear from him for 2 months, and then he posts a screenshot of a coin doubling on tribal decks. How about we work on finishing a project? Well, I can completely see your point of view there, but my take on it is that it's taken a few months to get this going and get getting some things solidified behind the project and some things that he can put out and some solid information and some solid screenshots. He's getting ready to host a live stream with the game and show it what it's looking like. So my guess is that this game was either in the works before the big change, or this is a third-party company that made this game and he onboarded them after the big change. I don't know. So, but I do agree he's really good at creating that FOMO. But, you know, that's his job, right? That's one of the primary jobs of a CEO, right? Go out there, shake hands, kiss babies, and get some new customers. Okay. John says, yes, would be nice for tower defense to drop. I agree. That's another one of those things that's floating out there and needs to be finished. It was hyped. A lot of stuff was sold about it. I only have 25 packs. I frankly, I love tower defense games. However, I didn't like the artwork on this one. I did pick up a few packs when they were very low price, just to let them sit there and gain a few SPS now and then. But I do agree with all the promises put out on that game. They do need to put that out. But remember, once again, for some reason, that is still on the Splinterlands side of the house and not the Invenium side of the house. So I don't know why it was put on the Splinterlands side of the house and not the Invenium side, because it seems to me like that game would be better suited for the Arcade Colony side. I don't know. There's probably some kind of financial or maybe personal details around that. I don't know. I have no insider information. I'm the last guy that they want to even do any detail, any kind of work with. They probably look at my videos. Of course, any video is probably good because it's exposure, right, for a game. I forget who in the past said this was any I don't know. Basically, the point was getting yourself out in the market is, whether it's good or bad, is always good, because at least you got your name in marketing, right? Oh well. Is AC token available now? Not sure. Still have to look in on that. Like I said, I still have to dig. I would encourage anybody that's interested to go ahead and join the Discord channel for Invenium, or I'm looking for the new channel. Aggie put it out in his post on X yesterday, and it's also in my video notes from yesterday. I just don't have it on the tip of my fingers here. My financial journey says, or make use of the nodes they sold 2 years ago. Yeah, me and my brother, or my brother and I, were talking about this yesterday, because he's looking at buying another node, and he's thinking about, if he finds one for, I think he said $500, he was going to buy it. He's had a node. I don't have any nodes, right? He's had a node for quite a while. I was saving my money at that time to buy land. So he's got a node, I'm in land, he's not so much in land. So that's the way we spend our money. Yes or no, he's looking at picking up another one, and he was telling me about, what he's made off of it and everything like that. So, but I do agree that as far as I know, it's not even on the checklist. They've been asked about it once in a while, but it's like way down on the list. So, I mean, after, new user experience, all that. The AC token is going to be distributed based on GLX, GUSD, and SPS. I think AC equals Arcade Colony. Okay. Understood. Okay, so whenever I get more details on that, that's sounds like John's been keeping up on this. So I'll do a short video on that whenever I have. I don't really like getting into like tokens and that because I'm not big on the math. There's other YouTubers that do the math a lot better than me, especially Gathering. He does very good math-based videos, and I can understand the need for that. It's just math's not my strong suit, and I hate to have anybody, make a financial decision and say, oh, Bronze Dragon said it was going to be a great investment. We all know how these go, so. Yes, nodes would be cool. I don't think it's the leader's job to create FOMO. I think it's the leader's job to produce good products. If those products are in demand, the price will rise. No need for FOMO. Well, I would argue that point. I do agree with you. Ultimately, the leader, the CEO, whoever's the leader of the company is responsible for everything that goes on with the company, right? But I've seen it from, corporate standpoint. CEOs, their primary job is, they do make a lot of decisions behind the scenes, right? But one of their primary jobs is going out, shaking hands, putting on that smile, putting on that good face, and getting out there and making relationships with not just the public, but other companies that in this case, other companies that may be interested in using your platform. Also, I think sometimes he goes overboard a little bit with the FOMO, but his job is really to sell off the product. In my case, you could argue that a regular company will have a whole sales department for that, right? This kind of company doesn't have that, so they have to generate sales in some way. Either way, good point though. Paul says, this first game is a proof of concept game. The sky's the limits from here if it goes well. Yeah, like I said, it might be a small game. It might turn into a big game. Who knows? But the whole concept here is having other companies come in and use this platform instead of just using this platform to create new games under the Invenium as the company itself, right? It's when you can attract new companies that have a game to create, and they need a platform to put it on, and then they're paying into your platform on a monthly basis, which brings you profit, which I'm sure there's upkeep to it, and we're talking about maintenance and upkeep and everything to the platform and what it's hosted on and all this and security, etc. But a large part of this has already been done by the company. It's an investment that's ripe for getting back some money on. You obviously don't run your own business at My Financial Journey. Gathering says, wonder why nodes aren't even talked about anymore. If I had bought one, I would be pretty upset. I think about this once in a while. Plus, since my brother owns one, we talk about it once in a while. And it's something they've brought it up in a few town halls, but it just always kind of gets shoveled under the rug, if you will. I agree. That was a huge investment at the time, and it just keeps going up in price. I mean, there are some dips where people sell off their node cheap and trying to get out of it. use the money for other things or whatever they're going to do. But at this point in time, what's happening after talking to my brother about this is he's been making a decent amount of SPS and vouchers off of it. But as more people invest and buy more nodes, then that is slowly eroding, right? So, my basic thought is yes, they should have put priority behind getting the nodes out before now. That's my opinion. And I don't even have a node. It's just from the factor of you sold some people these very expensive things, and they're still just sitting there. Are they earning something? Yeah, but you know what I mean. John said, I had nodes. I dumped them and took the funds and went all SPS. Decent choice. Vilson has 2 nodes. John says, I think pure SPS has way more potential value than a node. Okay. Wouldn't mind some more, but also looking at other crypto projects. Yeah, there's so much going on that you just have to look at your budget and figure out where you're going to put your money. Wilson says, dude, I make all my financial decisions based on your videos. What do you mean? I hope not, man. I hope not. And Gathering uses the magic 8-ball. Alex T says, lies. You use CFP, Bronze Dragon. Wilson says, I was mentioned this on After Sound yesterday as well. Just want to let people know, if anyone here has transaction on Solana Jupiter, there's an airdrop to claim called when it's worth $50. Nice look. I don't, well, first of all, thanks for letting me know. I'll have to check out that video. I do watch across videos all the different other YouTubers that cover Splinterlands, but there's so much going on and there's so many videos that I don't catch everything. I usually watch videos from other YouTubers in the morning when I'm working out before work. And it's kind of a catch-22 because I do want to watch and see what other people are saying, but I also don't want to get into the situation where I don't want to be construed as copying off of anybody, Oh, so-and-so did a video, so Bronze Dragon did a video on it as well. So although I do have conceptually a much different take on it than most of these other guys, but you know what I mean. But I'll check that out. And Vilson says, this ends on the 29th, so I will have to check it out today then. I don't have anything on Solana, though, so I don't think there's anything for me to check out. It's worth mentioning, though. Paul says, no one has bought a node from the game in years, I think. Been stuck on 5010 for a while. Well, maybe people are just buying and selling. Well, okay, then you're a perfect person that might be able to answer this. I posed a question to my brother. So what he mentioned was that the amount of SPS that's been drawn from his node has gradually went down over time. He proposed that maybe it's because people were buying more nodes. I don't know. Why would the gradual, is it because the amount, maybe the pool of SPS is going down, like the pool of SPS for in-game is going down? I don't know. Those of you who have nodes should be able to answer that. Let me know. I get a dry mouth here. Vilson says, no, I mean mentioned it on the live. Okay. Supreme Victory Studios is in the house. Thanks for dropping by. Is this platform aimed only at Hive blockchain users or any blockchain? Good question. I would assume on the Hive blockchain. I would assume it's built out to be used on the Hive blockchain. However, I don't know. There may be some disconnects in the background and API, whatever is called for, that would enable it to be used on different blockchains, and they may be working on that. If I hosted a platform as a service, probably one of the things I would look at is being able to, how do I want to say, compartmentalize that section that enables the different games to talk back and forth with different blockchains to be able to be replaced with other blockchain information. I don't know if I said that right, but it would make sense to be able to alter your platform to connect to different blockchains. Do I know anything about it? No, I don't, but that would kind of make sense to me. I don't have any information on that, so that's one good question going forward. I don't know at this point. John says, if you had the same dollar value in SPS staked or a node, which would earn more to gathering? Good question. I don't know. I do know that I bought a little bit of SPS yesterday. Let's look at, I've just been sitting here, Splinter cards. Haven't looked at it this morning yet. It does look like it made a little bit of a rebound, but it looks like it's going back down again. Overall, let's take a look at this because I was interested in this because I bought a little bit yesterday. Overall, we're at like a median point right now, if this would load, meaning that it has come down, but it's still, why is this not loading? It's still not, here we go. Now let's take this out to a year. You can see we're at a median point, you know. Are we down from where we were? Yes, but we're still far above where were just even last November. So I guess, like I said, not in financial investment advice, we're still in the situation where if you're going to do dollar cost averaging, it would still be worth it. Hopefully, you know, our hope is that in the long run it goes back up. But I did buy, you know, about 30 bucks worth yesterday. So my intent is to just, as we're down from the high, just kind of buy a little bit now and again and just go ahead and roll it in. So. And Gathering says, have to crunch the numbers. Ike says, hooked on dCrops now. Been pumping into that game. I've been playing a little bit. In fact, I just went over here to check how many trees had been sold. And we're over half. So there are 472 left. So just a little bit more than, let's see, I did the numbers. 528 were sold. I bought 4. I am thinking about buying a 5th. When I got playing, let's see, let's just jump over here. I do have some crops going. I got 3 rare lands going with some stuff going on, but I think if I was going to go further into this game, I'd probably just buy a few more trees. Now, the olive tree represents a great value while they're still for sale. The apple trees and such, the apple tree will be the next season coming up. Pretty expensive, about $100 to get into an apple tree, but it does, you can harvest it every day. So just a good thing about trees, and you don't have to worry about continually replanting them, you know. So Alex T says, buying things that produce SPS is the move. Yeah, I agree overall. It's going down a bit, Vilson says. Yeah, it as far as SPS goes. Let's go ahead and zoom back in. I just wanted to look. My main point here was the fact that yes, it's coming down, but it's still far above where it was last year at this point. It's but you would have to come back to, you know, early in the year last year. And some people who are better at watching the markets than me should have to tell me why this dip happened. I don't know. But obviously in December we had the new card packs come out. So I would imagine that's why it went up there. How much is a node? I don't know. Can you see them on for sale on the market, other items? I don't know. I would have to look at that. I don't see, I guess it's just called a license. On the secondary market. Let's look at under the shop licenses. Okay. So a validator node license, if you bought it from the game right now, is 219,500 SPS. So what's an SPS going for right now? So roughly just under $5,000. Did I do my math right? Somebody let me know if I did my math right, because if it's going for $5,000, that's pretty rough. Maybe it's $500. No, it can't be $500. I did 219,500. I did 219,500 SPS times 0.022, which is what SPS is sitting at, and that's $4,800. And John says a node is probably like $550 to $600. Maybe I'm doing the math wrong. 20,000 K SPS is about $450. Get about 4.5 SPS staked from that. Swapped 3,000 of my vouchers back to 5,240 SPS, expecting vouchers to fall now and the SPS to slowly tick back up. I'm hoping SPS ticks back up. As far as vouchers going down, I don't know. You get vouchers from staked SPS too. Maybe nodes are the way to go. I get one voucher per day from 39,000 K SPS staked. I'm getting slightly less than the voucher. It sounds about right. I think I'm at like 36,000 SPS staked. Play the 10% strategy, grow your bag. Liberty Guy off Grib, thanks for dropping by. What is the Splinterlands node symbol on Hive engine? Let's check out. I was buying some Creed. I think it's just license. Yes, here we go. So this is what we're looking at. There are some. There's one for sale for 2,000 Hive. And a Hive, last I checked, was like 0.28 or 28. .31. It's went up. Good. So we're looking at 0.31 times 2,000. This is the math part of the show where I get things wrong probably. So 620. $620 is what this one is going for, minus any fees that are going on, right? Nodes sell under license. Yeah. Vilson says with vouchers. Oh, no, that's the cost without vouchers. Sorry. And you can get $5 off per voucher, max 500 per license. So if we did... So if you did 500 vouchers with one node license, it would be just about 110,000 SPS. But still, look, that's still 2,500 US dollars. So tell me why. I guess it just doesn't make sense to me. Why, if you wanted to buy a node license, the best thing to do is just buy it from somebody selling it over here on Hive Engine. That's my takeaway. Because why would you come over here and spend, at 110,000 SPS plus your 500 vouchers when you could just grab it for $500-$600 on Hive Engine? Paul says, never buy things from the game. Secondary almost always cheaper. I do agree with that. Vilson says in-game is like $2,300, $2,500. Yeah, I just wanted to work through it because, frankly, I haven't looked at it in a long, long time. I knew it was very expensive. I do know that people were talking about buying the node license for like between $500 and $600, and it was fluctuating recently. I just didn't know, what the price was currently. Paul says, you don't need to do the math. The price is at the top of the exchange window along with the last one sold. Node licenses will start selling again when SPS price is a lot higher. Yeah, remains to be seen. I guess if you have a node license, you can express, what value you have in them. My question is, once they do go live, it says pays with SPS and vouchers. My brother had said that he's making in just under 20 SPS a day, and with, I guess if you can get that for $500 or $600, that would be worth it. I know I'm making more than 20 SPS per day on my land, but that represents a larger investment for me than $500 or $600 because I think I've got, I don't know, $1,200 into land, including cards and everything at this point in time. Gathering says, smash the likes, everyone. Yes, I would appreciate that. I'm also, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'm closing in on that 500 mark. We'll do something special whenever I hit that 500 mark. Have no idea what it'll be, but I'll come up with something. John says, node licenses will... okay, I already said that. Not financial advice. Do your own research. Yep, understood. Okay, so as you know, we talked about dCrops. I've been playing Immortal Creed lately, if anybody else has. I, in fact, started a secondary account. I was having a discussion with another player who watches my videos, and due to the current situation in the game, in that they don't have a card market, you just have to buy packs, it's easier to have multiple bronze level accounts than it is to have like a gold account, and you make more. So that's an interesting, in this game you can have up to 5 accounts, right? And the stumbling point I've had playing in silver is that it's really hard to get cards to make higher levels of the cards to be able to play safely. So I made a second account and I'm playing in bronze on that. Let's see, I'm also... We can talk for a minute on Golem Overlord. Looks like I do need to do my claim here, and somebody just hit me twice. So let's go ahead and do this while I'm talking about it. I can do 4 attacks right now. How's everybody doing in Golem Overlord if you play? I'm enjoying it. He's done a lot of advancement on this game lately. I do usually attack in the 60 to 80% range. Sometimes I miss, but if you do hit, you get a good percentage off of your hits. I'm looking forward to the new Relic Radar feature that he's working on right now. And I'm going to short claim. Usually I use short claims during the day. I'll put a normal claim on at night as far as claiming 8 hours, and then I'll go to short claims during the day because I get pounded way too much for normal claims, and sometimes on the weekend if I'm going to sleep in, I'll put a 12-hour claim up, but yeah, it's usually short claims due to the fact that once you start getting over like that 500-600 part in your stash, you just become too juicy of a target. So just jumped on to level up prestige and joined After Sounds Guild. Oh really? I didn't know he had a guild going in Golem Overlord. I do have 1 slot open if anybody needs a slot. I have a couple people that should buy benches, but I'm thinking about buying a couple extra benches We are working on bunker level 7. We're almost up to bunker level 7. Seven, the one thing that kind of irritates me is that in the bunker levels in this game, they're off-centered. In other words, like we're working on 7, but 7 doesn't get us anything. Now, when we get to 8, we'll get an extra percentage point. My take on is it should be more linear. In other words, go up a half percentage, or whatever it's going to go, and give you something for each level instead of making you work through a level, which when you're working through a level on a bunker is a huge amount. Look at this. We're talking to go from 6 to 7. We're talking 186,100 part we've had to work through, and 7,775 shard. So it's a huge investment. I think it should be more linear. That's the one thing that's been kind of on my mind. Let's see here. So you keep faith, power, and fortification at similar levels. Yeah, I do. I've been just basically playing that way. Whenever I first started playing the game, I went all in on fortification, but I kind of realized that that was not doing anything for me because really, I think most of the game is about not making yourself too attractive of a target. Because most people just go in and sort by a certain range, whatever their range is, that's going to get them between like 60 and 100% chance of hitting, right? And then just attacking, with the list, who's got the most. And I think that I know that in my case, claiming on a short period, even though I'm giving up 20%, if I go to a normal period, I get pounded and pounded, especially when I'm up near that, I fell down a little bit on my scavenger golems. Let's see. Let's go ahead and put in. I try to keep this reputation up near above 45. I'm working on prestige 17. Liberty Guy off grid says I'm currently at 126, 121 not. Power, 191 fortification, and 114 faith. Yeah, I mean, I came to the realization that I would have to pour a lot into fortification to be able to make it worth it. So what I've been doing is randomly using potions, fortification potions, which help out a little bit, but I've mainly been trying to play the game to try and make myself not as juicy a target. I guess that's the best way to put it. Supreme Victory Studios says, I was kind of turned off from last season rewards. I have pretty much all of the summoners to level 3 and a good majority of the weapons. However, the payout is not worth my time. Back on Immortal Creed. I'm in silver. I'm roughly making, I did a video on this, but I'm roughly making enough to buy a pack most days. In bronze, every 2 to 3 days, right? And a pack is 200 credits or $2 worth. So overall, between playing a bronze and a silver account, I'm making enough to make a pack a day and have a little bit extra. So roughly $2 value per day between playing two accounts. Sometimes the play can get frustrating because I'm playing... the bots seem a lot of times overpowered to me, but I do realize that that's hard to average out. So I'm still playing along. What I see this game as is in its very infancy. So I'm playing along. I'm hoping that getting in on this first set of cards really reaps some rewards as they go forward. Is it what I would consider a great game at this point? It's something to do, right? It's something to go in and do your matches, but I do see potential in this game. So, well, I did a video on this, and you would have to go back and watch it, but I bought approximately, to play silver, I bought approximately 60 packs times $2. So I'm at about $120, $130, right? Overall. But like I said, in most cases, what I'm doing is I'm not taking any money out of the game, but I'm making enough to buy a new pack virtually like once a day. And I'm notoriously bad with RNG for packs, but it has allowed me to. I think what I did was I've kept all the weapons, and let's go over here to my inventory. We're on my secondary account here. What I did was I shifted my gold foils, which I only have. They just like in Splinterlands, they start out at level 2 if you get a gold foil. I shifted those over to my secondary account, which is playing in bronze, which you need level 2 for. Since it would be very hard to get more gold foils of them, I figured I'd make better use of them on a bronze account, and they can play fine in bronze on my secondary account and get me an extra percentage, so everything's going well. This bronze account, I put $10 in it, bought a few packs, and then shifted some cards over from my primary account that I wasn't using in my primary account, because one of the things in this game is you can't really get away with using under-level cards like you can in Splinterlands. In Splinterlands, if you have a really good card, you can use it under-leveled, but in this game, you can't really. If you're in bronze, you got to be using a level 2 summoner or level 2 weapons, right? Otherwise, you're going to be severely at a disadvantage. No, it's an auto battler, and yes, like I said earlier, due to the way they are working on the card market, however, it's not. The only way you can get cards is buying packs or peer-to-peer trans. I could buy and sell cards with you, and I can send it to you because they are NFTs, and you can send them back and forth on blockchain if you know the person. Otherwise, it's kind of a risk. But they are working on the market, and I put that into my video on the topic. I think that's one of the things that's it's going to make it easier to get up and running this game. It also probably might affect how much you can make off the game, but the primary mode of making off the game is you can win. You can play as many games a day as you want, but you only get paid for that first 10 wins, right? And the amount you win per match is dictated on the level and type of card. So basically, the way to increase what you win is using rarer cards and also using gold foil cards. And that pumps up what you make. So that's the value of shifting my gold foils over here to bronze, where they were just sitting on my main account, not used because they were only level 2 summoners, right? Level 2 immortals. And I couldn't really use them on my silver account because I need level 3, right? First 10 wins, okay? So you can play as many battles as you want, and the battles are used to go towards the leaderboard, which at this point is just bragging rights, and it's also the battles you can level up to the next league if you want to, right? You play through, and each, like this is in bronze level 1, right? Because I just made it into bronze. But there's 10 levels in each league, and you fight your way up through the levels, and then you can graduate to the next league if you want to. Now, if you get into the next league and you want to D-level, you can do that as well. Because if you get in the next league and find that you're not fighting well, like I said, there's no getting away with playing with under-level cards here. If you're in bronze and thinking about going into silver, you need level 3 cards. Otherwise, you're not going to cut it, right? Without a market that I can pick and choose from, what I will have to sit on the sidelines. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it only went live in December. So we're at the very beginning of this game. So all the money I am putting into it and the time I'm putting into it, I hope just reaps rewards down the road, because I'm picking up a lot of stuff here and there. And like I said, it's the easiest game I've played to actually pick up packs and make value. And I do think I'm making a decent amount of money off of it. I haven't put this video out yet, but I've been working on it. And a lot of the other games, like, I mean, in Splinterlands, I figured out I'm making less than $3 a day, and I've put thousands and thousands of dollars into that account, right? To come into a game and put less than $150 into it and be making $2.5 a day. And at this point, there's really no mechanism that says that I don't have to. There's no mechanism that says I can't pull it all out. In other words, like other games, right? Like in Golem Overlord, you have to spend 80% and burn your credits in 80%, or otherwise you start decreasing what you make. In this game, you theoretically could get up and running and start pulling everything out. But at this point, it just behooves everyone to just try to increase the cards they have. And you can get up to, by the rules, you can get up to 5 accounts and play them if you want to. Would that take a decent amount of chunk of time out of your day? Yeah. But Immortal Creed EV, hello. Thanks for dropping by. EV is one of the Immortal Creed developers. So it's a very small team, as far as I know, 2 guys. But he has dropped by. I want to clarify that the rarity of the card does not affect how much you earn. Only the level, foil, and number of turn slots affects how much win with that card will earn. Okay, thanks for dropping that in. Yeah, he had pinged me on this one time because I was wrong in a video, and it's just it wasn't clear to me. Okay, so in one video I had put out that the win streak also affects it, but it doesn't. Maybe that was just in my mind had affected it, but in reality, like we had discussed, that would be like a system breaking mechanic, because otherwise you could just keep spamming and spamming and spamming games to make yourself at the top of the leaderboard. This is on the leaderboard discussion, and that's why the leaderboard doesn't draw any profit at this point, but that's another topic. So great stream, by the way. Thank you. And let's see. I guess Paul has the last comment since we're at the bottom of the hour here. The big payoff in Splinterlands will be SPS future value. We are playing the long game for the most part. Yeah, and I agree, Paul. But also at the same time, everybody's been saying that since I started. I can remember 3 years ago. And I can clearly remember Dwayne, and Dwayne's very pro. He's very one thing is he's very upbeat, very pro Splinterlands, and I can remember this being one of his ongoing thematic elements, right, in his discussions, is that he's very into looking forward into Splinterlands. Now, there's been a lot that's happened between now and then, and but I'm just kind of, and I do have a very positive aspect. I wouldn't put money into these games unless I thought that hoped that they were going to do something, right? But at the same time, I feel no shame in saying that I look specifically at what each game is making on a daily basis to be accurate, because I'm just frankly tired of always hearing, oh, it's going to be in the future. It's going to be down the road. It's going to be down the road. Yeah, do I hope that? Yeah. Do I constantly kick myself in the butt for selling off an unlimited Black Lotus and 2 or 3 unlimited Moxes back in the day? Yeah, I'm kicking myself in the butt for doing that right now, right? Because, 10, 15 years later, they're worth 20 times what I sold them for, right? And the motorcycle I bought with the money is gone too. So, I accidentally hit a key. Supreme says, I don't know that we can trade cards. I'll give you in-game name and you can shop my deck if you like. That's another thing I got into in Mortal Creed, is trading cards back and forth, and also the mechanism of trading the coins back and forth between accounts. I think that could be a little bit smoother, but that's a topic for another video. It does work. I've done it this week between accounts, so theoretically it would work between people as well. And I do know people have been discussing. There's a whole channel on the Immortal Creed Discord on people buying, selling, trading cards. I'm just saying be careful since it's peer-to-peer. I've said that on every single game, right? SPS won't greatly appreciate until after it's no longer given out daily and tens of millions more are burned. 2 to 3 years. I think this is the time to accumulate and diversify. I agree. You know, that's all logical, right? Once it stops being put out on a daily basis and once a lot more is burned, you know, it's hopefully it'll go. Logic would say it would go up, right? So, yes, John, I am guilty. Back in the day, I was a player, Magic the Gathering player. I did have, and we're talking late 90s here, I had an unlimited Black Lotus. And, you know, if it was graded, it would probably been in the 7 out of 10 category as far as grading goes. And I did have 3 unlimited Moxes. I had 4 each of all the revised dual lands, etc. I sold that off as a set, and I'm not even going to tell you how much I got for it because I would sit here and I would cry. Okay, so we're at the bottom of the hour. I do thank everybody for stopping by. And Paul is finishing this out, says, for your information, no license APR is 38.8% right now, which sounds good to me. I mean, that's a great percentage rate compared to everything else. And Wilson says SBS will hit 4 cents once the market gets to the next leg. I think we're all hoping that. And like I said, I did buy some yesterday, and I do intend to steadily buy some as time goes along. So anyway, thanks for dropping by. It's been a great conversation as usual. I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy, and I hope everyone has a great week. I will see you next week.